home. Have you heard the news? It's probably been twisted to keep the general population conflicted. Better lick your finger and turn the page. Dissect the lines that made you to rage. Get out of your Monday drudgery. Turn up the volume on front page fuckery. Yeah.
It's lonely at the top. Lonely, lonely, lonely. Money on my mind. Money, money, money. Don't care what they're yarning about me in particular. Go call me, call me, call me. Out here on the road chasing my dreams because I know no one can chase it for me. What? Waiting I love, waiting you love, oh, no be waiting I love, oh, gang, waiting I love, I go do and with all my heart, oh, boom, boom. I know the members area must be so tired of that because they got me singing that constantly on Meet Me at the Altar. I just kept singing it, but it's such a tune and a vibe. Like, big up Fxckery because truly, waiting you love or no be waiting I love. What you love doesn't have to be what I love, but what I love, I'm going to do it with all my heart, baby. And that's what I did and done and does. Okay? But it's me, Kelechi, the baby girl, aka Mother of London, back with another episode of Front Page Fuckery, where we turn bad news into good conversation. I'm back from Thailand, as you can see. Got back last night. So if this episode is chaotic, what's new? Bear with, because them flights, I just don't think I was born to do long haul flights in economy. Like, I don't, I mean, is there an argument to be made for how the class structure on planes represents so much of life and how we chase a particular thing where it's just like, girl, you're still on the same fucking plane, but can I have a different experience on that plane? I won't do that to myself again. But with that being said, also, like, hello friend, welcome or welcome back, right? We're back into looking at the headlines. You know what? Thailand inspired me. So now I'm just using my iPad to look at the front pages. Although some of the newspapers send in very blurry images, which is annoying. Like, don't do that. So I think I'll alternate between having the real thing as well as just looking it up on the iPad, because heal the world, make it a better place. Don't buy physical copies for front page fuckery. You know, something like that. Who knows? But big up EVA Airlines, EVA Airlines. Big up yourself. Like, large up your fucking chest, yeah? When they say decent airline, raise your hand. You better make sure that you raise your own hand. Do you understand? Because what the fuck? For a long time, I've known that British Airways were pussy clarts, but it really has been confirmed through flying with other airlines. British Airways is essentially like Ryanair with a Gucci belt, because what do you actually mean? I tussled so much because I didn't want to fly with another airline because, you know, you only know what you know, innit? And so I was just like, no, I'm going to try and go on British Airways. I'm going to try. At the end of the day, life showed me, the universe showed me what was best for me. And it was, in fact, EVA Airlines. More legroom. The food is decent. The staff, like as in the cabin crew, they're so cool. British Airways, I can't always say that. The toilets were clean. British Airways, I can't always say that. I feel like sometimes the airline represents the culture of the person or the people that own the airline. I don't necessarily know who owns British Airways now, but what I'm saying is it was such a pleasurable experience for a long haul flight. And that was even with being in economy. Yes, okay, you might say that the furniture or whatever is a bit dated, but who gives a fuck? Because it was like, I literally enjoyed that flight. Even the turbulence, when it starts going boom, 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 boom through the air, it wasn't so bad. Like, I didn't mind it too much because I was all right. And, you know, you have free Wi-Fi across the aircraft, whatever class you're in, on either airlines. We can't say that for fucking British Airways. They'll charge you fucking $11.99 or $7.99 for the blood clot, and then it will stop working. And they'll be like, oh yeah, sorry girl, sucks to be you. I've had to email them before, like, can you refund my money? Because what do you mean I paid for the internet and then it wasn't even working throughout the thing? Like, let's be so for real. So if either airlines, if you want to give me another trip to Thailand, cool. British Airways, I know I cussed you, but if you also, no, I'm joking. Like, I felt like that needed to be said. Bangkok, is it Bangkok Airways or something like that? They were also decent. For a 1 hour, 30-minute flight with them to get from Bangkok to Koh Samui, they gave you food. I said, huh? Because other airlines will be looking in your face like, girl, it's 1 hour 30. Can you hold your big back self? Can you not manage? Do you need food? If you want food, give us money. That wasn't the case. So I have to say, Bangkok Air, or whatever you lot are called, Eva Air, big up yourselves, man. Big up yourselves. Because I had a decent fucking time. Do I want to do economy again? Probably not. But I have to say that I had a really decent time. And I was so nervous about flying with them. I went to go and read reviews online because I was just like, oh my God, they're the only option available now because I've changed my flight so many fucking times, or I had to do so many different things. I don't know. But I have to say, I enjoyed. I've been converted. I know I've been changed because, yeah, they will definitely see me again. Inshallah, they will see me again, you know. Whereas British Airways, you are slowly making an enemy out of me. Mark it on the wall. But with that being said, Thailand was a mood. You know, once I finally settled into my groove, I had such a great time. I feel like next time I want to go to Chiang Mai. I want to go to Phuket. Like, I want to see different places. I actually want to go to Bangkok, like actually see Bangkok when I go next time. But there were certain situational things that meant that I just stayed in Koh Samui this time. And also, I'm a bit of a scaredy cat when I travel as well. I like to like stay in one place. I'm a creature of habit. Like, okay, I'm here, I'm staying here. But I'm starting to get my adventure on, like, watch this space. But it was such a great experience in that, being able to train every day, being able to learn so much about Muay Thai from being there really did bits for me. And because one part of my brain was doing one thing, it meant that the other part of my brain could do something else. And I think I've cracked it, lads. Lads, I think I've cracked it regarding what I'm going to do regarding my pole studio, what I'm doing with my businesses, what I'm doing with this fucking office. Like, I think I've cracked it. And I don't think I would have come to that conclusion were I not to have gone away and gone, you know what? My life is so cool, but it could be even more cool if I made these changes. And it didn't even hit me straight away. It's when I got back and I was chatting with one of my friends today that I was just like, wait, maybe I could do this another way. And that's what I'm likely to do. So big up holidays that bring you closer to yourself and towards your aspirations, you know? That's all I ever care about, really. Just growing as a person, doing better as a person, and being like a decent making decent contributions to whatever the fuck is going on this rock that is hurtling through space as we pay bills. Do you get it? But yeah, I definitely want to go back to Thailand. Yeah. They've got a regular out of me. I mean, there are the things like I mentioned that freak me out, but overall, there's just something about it, man. There's something about it that got me. You know, they're gonna see me again. They are, as God wills it, they will see me again. With that being said, I want to say, so I've bigged up Eva Air, bigged up Bangkok Air, whatever they call themselves, and I've got to big up you lot. I've got to big you up. The bath salts, as in my spirit salts that I made, that I put online yesterday, they've sold out. You did not come to play. the protection bath salt, the peace bath salt, the money drawing bath salt. You sold it the fuck out. So now, come Monday, I've got to start shipping it out to you all. But I'm gonna get to it. I'm so excited, and thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting, my hot takes when it comes to social commentary, as well as trusting me when it comes to the spiritual aspects of things, because to me the spiritual is political, and I'm not going to divorce those like things to make other people comfortable. Oh, I can't believe you dabble in that because I think you're so smart and you do all of these things. Where do you think my smartness came from, if not from the spiritual realm? What are you talking about? And if you wonder about whether the bath salts work, well, one of them is called Money Mag, as in money magnet. It's a money drawing candle. I said that soon come. Watch this space. But it's the money drawing bath salt, right? And I sold out. Like I'm not me. I'm not a sellout. But I'm saying like the product sold out. So that should tell you that it works. Now, what I have got to say is, it works if you do. As in, when things suddenly get snatched away, trust the process. If suddenly weird shit starts happening, trust the process. Do not come and cry. Trust me, it's working. Yeah? Go with it. The kind of way that I fix the salts, as in the prayers that I've done on them and all the things that I've mixed and blended in them, I'm confident. Same with the protection. I am yet to see a motherfucker that could and would. When it comes to me, to try me, I'm yet to meet a motherfucker that could and would. Right? So I stand on the protection one as well. And as for the peace one, for all the blood clot, for all the nonsense that's going on in the world, there is a sense of peace I feel in myself. And I feel like that's probably what draws people to me. That energy of like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Even on my sad days, there's still a sense of peace, because it's just like, I'm a rider. Like I will figure this out. And so that's why I went with those as the first three, because they are ones that I can stand by, because I've used them, worked on them for myself first for a while. And then I'm like, okay, I feel like they're ready for other people, but I, trust the process. So I'm very excited that all of you people will be getting it. And thank you for supporting me. Thank you for believing in me. And I'll do another drop. Based on my energy levels, I'll try and make another batch. So I'll do another drop in a couple of weeks. But I'll let you know beforehand, so you don't miss out. But I noticed that some of you were buying the bundles instead, the ritual. That's what it's called, ritual. And so that's a bundle of protection, peace, please, as well as Money Mag. And you seem to have been drawn to that. So I don't know if you still want me to do singles or do bundles, but I always want to leave you the option, because you might not want the rest. Although I think that anything that you do, you should always include a protection spell. But you could do do what you want, And in the new year, I'm probably going to drop a love one. I'm thinking either a love one. Yeah, I'm thinking a love one, but we'll see. But the love one is powerful, so don't go and use it if you're not sure about people. Yeah, don't do that, because I did it and the people are stalking me. So be careful. Be careful. As in, like, I didn't do it to a particular person. Let me be clear. I created one for myself, and then it's attracted people that are a bit odd, is what I'll say. So just be aware, be mindful. Like, just can't leave him alone. Just can't leave him alone, because the dope boy's turning me on. There's no reason that I've just sang that, but it just came into my head. Maybe I'll send some to... No, I can't send it to Sierra. She's a God girly. Can't send it to her. She won't, she'll be, oh my God, Bible verse. Although I love Psalms. When I'm fixing the products, I actually read Psalms into them. But enough about that. All I wanted to say is large up yourself, big up your chest. You lot did that, sold out. Very, very proud of myself, very proud of you. Can't wait for you to experience them. That's that. Anyway, let's get into the news bits. No, On the subject of being in Thailand, let me be very specific now, because some of you were asking, although I do think it's weird, and this is another conversation we need to have. I said this in my Instagram stories. We need to talk about social etiquette as it pertains to the online world. We have Pluto in Aquarius, which means that parasocial relationships and dynamics are only going to get worse. People think that they know you just from seeing you online, and then they might want to know you more. Hence, they start stalking you, finding ways to kind of know more about you. So I like appeal to everybody. Please practice more online hygiene in terms of looking after yourself, or online safety, hygiene, whatever. You cannot be asking people when they are clearly away, where are you? Where are you? That looks so great. Where are you? No. I mean, for me, most times I post after the fact, right? And so you could see in some of my videos online where I was, like the particular camp that I was at, training at. But for the most part, like, that's so weird. It's weird behavior. Oh, but what does it matter? I'm not going to do anything. You might not. But did you not see Joe in you? You don't know the people them who are lurking. Stop asking people ridiculous questions about where they are. If they wanted you to know, they would have told you. And if they haven't told you and you're making it your business to find out, guess what you are? That's right. You're a weirdo. You're a weirdo. You should go see someone about that. So yeah, don't do that. It's freaky. It's very creepy. They will let you know after the fact. So I was in Koh Samui and I really, really enjoyed it. I was at Wet Pino camp. That's the Muay Thai gym that I was at. And I learned quite a lot, once, warmed up with the people, they warmed up to me. It was great. Just know that in the evenings, just due to the nature of the climate, depending on what time of year you go, in the evening classes, you're going to get bitten by the mosquitoes. But I say that, but I wasn't actually bitten. That's what neem oil and neem capsules really do for you. It made my blood not appealing to them. Like I got maybe a teeny bite here, but not anything that stayed that I was scratching from. Nah, none of that. They came near me and they're like, oh, fuck this bitch. Bitter black woman actually worked for me this time round. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. 2-hour sessions in the morning, 2-hour sessions in the evening, and I did private classes as well. And it was really cost effective. Like an hour training session was like 1,000 baht for one-to-one session. And they also do packages. So you could do 2 weeks training, 1 session a day, or 2 weeks training, 2 sessions a day, or a month's training. You just, it's there on their website. So that's WECH space PINYO, Wet Pino. That's where I went. And yeah, I loved it. And I look forward to trying out more gyms on my journey of Muay Thai. But yeah, I'm back in England, and, back to my regular programming, I guess. But I really loved it. I love the kind of energy that comes out of me when I'm away. Like, I was able to even make content with my coach there, and I love that there's a sense of freeness. I don't feel that over here. Everything is so rigid and everyone takes themselves so seriously, and I just can't. I like being away so I can experience things. It just felt more free. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. But yeah, that's that. Anyway, let's get into the things. I hope that you're well. What am I seeing here? Government to scrap trial by jury for offences that the sentence would be less than 3 years. Crazy times. To me, I saw that. So this is my news that I'm sharing, that the things that stood out to me during the week that I thought, the reason I think that that's a problem is because with these anti-protest bills and all of these other things that are happening, and criminalizing homelessness and things like that, the government can just choose to throw people in jail, right? No, isn't it a human right? It's part of the European Convention of Human Rights that we are entitled to a trial with a jury. But slowly they're chipping away at our human rights, and they're saying that they're doing it for the sake of efficiency. You motherfuckers aren't efficient. You motherfuckers aren't efficient. How do I know that? Because you haven't got little spray things like for bidets to wash your nyash. You're not efficient. You're not efficient. If it gets hot, if it gets cold, oh, we've got the train lines aren't running. In all the years that it's been getting hot and it's been getting cold, we still have not figured out a way to still keep public transport going when all of those things are happening. But you want to tell me that you're dropping trial by jury for sentences that would be less than 3 years because of efficiency? Shut the fuck. Shut the fuck. It is so sinister. And I know that it's going to disproportionately affect young people, broke people, I say broke, but you know, poor people, as well as black people. I will go that far. And that's why it's being done. Like, oh, you don't need to worry about that. You know, we're just going to do it this way. No, I think we should all be very worried. We should all be very worried. What do you mean no jury? I mean, to some degree, some of the juries are fucked, right? Because people will just be saying anything. So people say anything, they think anything. So there's that. But I do feel like we're going down a slippery slope to then say, oh, we don't need a jury for that trial. We don't need a jury for that either. Then it'll go from, oh, we don't need them for anything below 3 years to anything below 7 years to anything. So that way, oh, we've said that you're a terrorist because you support Palestine action. So to jail you go, and you will have nobody that you can speak to about it. So it will further the draconian manners of determining terrorists or terrorism, right? And we will be subjected to that. Those who give a fuck about what's happening to society, and we haven't turned into fucking sellouts. Oh, do you know, that was what was interesting as well when I was reading about the Dalai Lama's, the 14th Dalai Lama being funded by the CIA. And the reason being, you know, America pretended through the CIA to want a free Tibet, and they were doing all of these things when actually they were just trying to frustrate China. Go to China, for China. No, I was just thinking about Nicki Minaj, sorry. But they were doing all of that. And then Mother Teresa also had her conversations through, is it Rita Hansel? Gina Hansel? One of them ones. She was the first woman to be director of the CIA. When she was like an operative or whatever, she helped to put Mother Teresa in contact with the White House, because she said that she wanted aid for some country that wasn't necessarily mentioned, but people think it was for Sudan. Now, there were other issues around like child trafficking and this, that, and the other. Now I've just, you know, the older I get and the more I look into certain things, I'm like, the water really isn't clean, you know. All of these people that were celebrated were fucking weirdos. Like, what do you mean that Trump is getting a peace prize from FIFA? Is everybody all right? Have people been hit with the ball on their head too many? Have you done too many headers? A peace prize for Trump? Trump wouldn't know peace if it pissed on him. Sit with that. That was really great, Kelechi. Pat on my fucking back. Blood clot. Anyway, so I'm just very nervous about where we're headed with all of this and who is going to be presented to us as the bad guy when the bad guys are they are dictating who the bad guys are, but they were the bad guys all along. It's scary. Then I saw this about this American guy, Brian Walsh, who pleaded guilty to disposing of his wife's body, but not of killing her. But then it was shared by the police or the troopers, whatever they're called. It was shared what he was actually searching in his search history. And I just need for all of us to hear this together. I've just realized that you won't actually hear it if I'm on the wrong phone. Let me bring it up on this phone. Let's see here. Here we go.
Is it Better to throw away crime scene clothes or wash them? Google search. How to clean blood from a wood floor? Google search. Can I use bleach to clean my wood floors from blood stains? Google search. What does bleach do to dead bodies? Google search. I want to get away with murder? ? Use special detergent / Discover magazine.
So it says here, Brian Walsh is accused of killing and dismembering his wife. He pleaded guilty to disposing of his wife, Anna Walsh's body, but not of murdering her.
How to use hydrogen peroxide on bloodstains? Google search. How to clean bloodstains with hydrogen peroxide? YouTube. Should I use hydrogen peroxide 8 on bloodstains in concrete? Google search. Can the FBI tell when you accessed your phone? Google search. Does the dishwasher clean blood? Google search. Is it possible that a knife which had blood on it remains contaminated with HIV after it has been washed with hot water and dishwasher soap? Quora. How long do stores keep security footage? Google search. How to saw a body? Google search. How to dismember a body? Google search. Hacksaw, the best tool for dismembering a body? Google search. Can you be charged with murder without a body? Google search.
Woo!
Murder conviction without a body? Wikipedia. No corpse? No problem. Notable murder convictions without a body? A&E True Crime. Can you identify a body with broken teeth? Google search. Disposing of a body in the trash? Google search. Can I mix white vinegar to stop smells? Google search. Can baking soda make a dead body smell good? Google search. Cleaning up blood without leaving a trace? 5 tips, aftermath services. Are footprints easy to wash away? Google search. How long for a dismembered body to decompose? Can a body decompose in a plastic bag? Can police get your search history without your computer? Google search. Does a cell phone track your historical location? Yahoo search results. Is it better to...
Wow. What you should have searched was so simple. Divorce lawyer. Why must men kill? Why must men? But why must men kill? I feel like I just want to call the episode Google search, because you searched everything but should I see a specialist? Should I see a psychiatrist? Am I well? Wouldn't it have been cheaper and you would have still kept your freedom to just Google search divorce lawyer? Why must it be oh, I want to leave my wife. You know what? I'm going to kill her and kill all our children as well. What goes on in people's brains? Just leave. Just go. I would feel like there might be oh, that's circumstantial. But the Google search would show us that you must have killed her because you were asking very fucking specific things. But that video was from CNN, and it says here, Massachusetts State Police Trooper Nicholas Guarino reads entries from Brian Walsh's search history in court from the witness stand. Walsh, who denies killing his wife, Anna Walsh, pleaded guilty last month to misleading police and improper conveyance of a human body. Her body has not been found. So my thing, and so that was from day 2 of the trial. You see, trials continuing to happen. But so you admit to disposing of her body, but you won't tell them where the body is because you clearly killed her, because when they find the body, they're going to find you all over her. And so in what world is it okay to be I disposed of the body, but I didn't kill her, your wife? And you disposed of it, and you were just going to carry on with life? Oh, I'm scared. I am scared. Wow. But I thought to share that because it really got my goat. And this was covered in the Financial Times, so I'll start with them. But now I'm reading it from BBC News. But it says Netflix to buy Warner Bros. Film and streaming businesses for $72 billion. Netflix has agreed to buy the film and streaming businesses of Warner Bros. Discovery for $72 billion, equivalent to £54 billion in a major Hollywood deal. The streaming giant emerged as the successful bidder for Warner Bros. Ahead of rivals Comcast and Paramount Skydance after a drawn-out battle. Warner Bros. Owns franchises including Harry Potter and Game of Thrones and the streaming service HBO Max. The takeover is set to create a new giant in the entertainment industry, but the deal will still have to be approved by competition authorities. Some in the film industry, including the Writers Guild of America, have criticized the deal, saying it would negatively impact workers and consumers. Netflix co-chief executive Ted Sarandos said the streamer was highly confident it would receive the regulatory approval it needs, and it was running full speed towards this. He said that by combining the library of Warner Bros. Shows and movies with the streaming platforms series such as Stranger Things, we can give audiences more of what they love and help define the next century of storytelling. Warner Bros. Have defined the last century of entertainment, and together we can define the next one, he said. Asked whether HBO should remain a separate streaming service, co-chief executive Greg Peters said Netflix believed the HBO brand was important for consumers, but added, "We think it's quite early to get into the specifics of how we're going to tailor this offering for consumers." Netflix estimates it will find $2 billion to $3 billion in savings, mostly through eliminating overlaps in the support and technology areas of the businesses, so people are going to lose their jobs. Films made by Warner Bros. Will continue to be launched in cinemas, it said, and Warner Bros. Television Studio will continue to be able to produce for third parties. Netflix will keep producing content exclusively for its own platform. Labeling it as a big day for companies, Mr. Sarandos acknowledged the acquisition may have surprised some shareholders, but it was a rare opportunity to set Netflix up for success for decades to come. I thought it was for centuries. Anyway, David Zaslav, president and chief executive of Warner Bros., added the agreement would combine two of the greatest storytelling companies in the world. By coming together with Netflix, we will ensure people everywhere will continue to enjoy the world's most resonant stories for generations to come. They love all of this generations, decades, and centuries. Calm down. We won't even be watching shows through some kind of TV something anymore. We're just going to watch them behind our eyes, actually, because we'll have chips, if you didn't know. Anyway, the cash and stock deal is worth $27.75 per Warner Bros. Share, with a total enterprise value, which includes the company's debt and values of its shares, of about $82.7 billion. The equity value or cash price is $72 billion. The boards of directors from each company unanimously approved the deal. It feels like Succession. I would have loved to see this happen behind the scenes. Some in the film industry have criticized the agreement. The Writers Guild of America's East and West branches issued a joint statement on Friday saying this merger must be blocked. The outcome would eliminate jobs, push down wages, worsen conditions for all entertainment workers, raise prices for consumers, and reduce the volume and diversity of content for all viewers, it said. Michael O'Leary, chief executive of trade organisation Cinema United, said the merger posed an unprecedented threat to the global cinema business. The negative impact of this acquisition will impact theatres from the biggest circuits to one-screen independents in small towns in the United States and around the world, he said. Netflix will complete the takeover after Warner Bros. Finalizes its previously announced plans to separate its streaming and studios division from its global networks division into two companies next year. Its global networks division will become Discovery Global, and it will include its cable channels such as CNN and TNT Sports in the US, as well as its Discovery and free-to-air channels in Europe. However, TNT Sports International will stay with the streaming and studios division being sold to Netflix. It's scary times. I think we were talking about it previously and how we're creating these juggernauts that will make being entertained or consuming entertainment very expensive and very regimented, because they will decide. And then when they now decide to give lots of jobs to AI, what will we be getting in the grand scheme of things? And I was saying it to my friend the other day that this is why I'm so glad to be self-produced for a lot of the things that I do. Eventually, I think we will go to, which rich friend do I have? but then they're going to stop you having rich friends because your rich friends won't be able to get jobs, right? But which rich friend do I have? Do you want to invest? I want to make this film. You give me the money, I go and make it, and then I'll find a way to distribute it. But then now, where are you going to distribute it? Because they're making their own content. Netflix and Warner Bros., they're making their own content, so they'll only want to push the content that they've made. So where does your content go? So eventually, we're going round to go back to the same thing, because then you're going to ask different people in different areas, set up a screen here, charge this amount, and project this image onto that screen that you've got, please. Then we're going to go back to having cinemas, but they'll feel like a little, like, I don't know, almost like speakeasies. Like you've got to go here to be able to watch this film, because all of these big giants, these content making giants, they're not going to show your shit. And then will you just put it on YouTube? Like, what are you going to do? So eventually we'll have to go back to each other and figure out a way. So we're going to return to the basics of things, which makes sense because we're closing out a 9-year numerologically of endings and going into a 10-year of beginnings. So we're going to go back to doing things from scratch, is what I think, because especially when you read the contracts that these people give you, they want to own the content that you make. You don't even have rights over your things anymore. That's scary. And they're just kind of like spreading their tentacles all over the place. No disrespect to octopuses or octopi, or whatever you lot call yourselves, because I know that you are going to take over eventually. So just letting you know that. But yeah, it is really, really, it's worrying times. But then I think about Netflix. This was a service that they would send you DVDs through your mailbox. That's how they started out. You'd pick a film that you wanted to watch online, and it will be sent to you through your mailbox, and then you'd send it back. They took blockbusters out. The energy that Netflix has is crazy to me. I need to see the birth chart of Netflix, because the way that they have the ability to take out all of the people that, or the entities that have come before them, to absorb them, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Weird. Okay, well, that's that bit. And then I was reading, which paper was it? I want to say it was the Daily Telegraph that was talking about, I think it was the Daily Telegraph, because I was looking at the papers online. Yeah, it was the Daily Telegraph talking about Streeting, Rayner, and a pact for number 10. So Wes Streeting is kind of being talked about as the person that will go up against Keir Starmer, the current Prime Minister and leader of the Labour Party, go up against him for party leadership and therefore premiership, as in running as Prime Minister. And I keep saying, I said it last week, and I know I'm not wrong, Angela Rayner isn't done. Like, there's something very that's happening. And yes, Wes Streeting might go for it, but I keep saying, everyone keep your eyes on Angela, man. I mean, I don't like her, but keep your eyes on her. So I went to go and read more about it, because the picture from the front page for Daily Telegraph was a bit hazy. So it says here on LBC, Streeting allies asking Rayner to back him for leader in exchange for cabinet post. Now, since this came out, they have denied it, and they've said, no, that's not happening. Nobody's trying to take her place. Take Keir Starmer's place. None of that's happening. But let's see. Many Labour figures have reported that the offer has been made by Streeting proponents, allowing the Health Secretary to deny personal involvement. According to the Telegraph, Ms. Rayner has discussed the offer with her own allies. Despite the reports, it always feels very Gossip Girl, like, which one of you keeps snitching? Something will happen and you've already ran to the newspapers to be like, oh, so hey girl, listen, this is what they're trying, this is what they're planning. And I'm sure Keir is hearing of some of these things for the first time. But also, this is how they all communicate, isn't it? By giving it to the papers, driving up all of the angst that way, and then maneuvering behind the scenes. But yeah, it says, despite the reports, a Streeting spokesperson called the story a silly season tale, and Rayner allies insist there was no pact between the pair. So I would say that means it's true. Wes Streeting has been long rumoured to covet the Labour leadership and was forced last month to deny he was plotting to oust Sir Keir Starmer. Leadership speculation has continued to persist in Westminster, with Labour languishing at 18% after backlash to the budget. Any attempt for Streeting to replace Sir Keir would likely be complicated given his unpopularity among Labour members. They're just using this bit to dig at him. Ms Rayner, who is on the left of the party, holds a vast array of support within the Labour faithful. Her support could help Streeting secure the support of the membership, which would have the final say in a leadership battle. One Rayner supporter told The Telegraph there have been huge overtures, including very senior level party people basically wanting to broker a peace deal. She knows he would lose if she stood against him. He knows that too. It's why they're reaching out. Exactly. I've been saying Angela is she is the one that, not that I want it, but she to me seems like the one that could take Keir Starmer out. I seen it in the tarot reading. You'll be like, girl, how is that a reliable source? It is for me. So they would want to get Angela on board with Wes Streeting. Wes Streeting, I guess, makes sense because his partner is Joe Dancy, right? He's also he also works within government. Zach Polanski for the Green Party he's a gay. He is a homosexual, right? So he's doing really well, Zach, at the moment. Doing very well. Question Time, all of these, like he's doing whatever. He's doing well right now. So Labour would need somebody equal in their eyes or in the eyes of the public to Zach. Keir ain't got it. Don't know if it's in a closet or whatever. I don't know. I'm not making any speculations. I'm not trying to get sued. But what I'm saying is, like, you ain't got it publicly, right? Wives just aren't in fashion right now in terms of leadership. So we know that Zach is doing well. So you want to put somebody up against him that can almost split that vote. Like, where are the community, I'm joking, the LGBTQ plus community, how are they going to vote? What are Wes Streeting's views on trans rights? All of these things matter. What are his views on immigration? So those who are within the community, within the LGBTQI plus community, they would need, and they are maybe more right-leaning but not reform, they would need somebody to vote for because they don't want to vote for Zach. So ideally you'd position Wes there, right? And that's why they would need Angela to back it and not run herself, because it's like, you know, the country's going through things. It likely wants a man to lead at this point, a white man to lead at that. So we're gonna need to kind of batten down the hatches. I think that's how to say it. Anyway, so it continues. His senior people in the party have said this is the offer. The offer is she can come back and have any job in the cabinet she chooses. Wes adjacent MPs will love that. What's this about Max Verstappen? Secures pole ahead of Lando Norris at title deciding Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I don't even... trigger warning, Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Anyway. I think it's fascinating. Like, Angela might have a little summat, but I wonder what her I wonder, Wes Streeting and Angela Rayner, what would that cabinet look like? Because none of these people give me the vibe that they like black people. So again, I have to ask the black people within the Labour Party, like, what are you lot doing? Like, why do you insist on sufferation? You're there making degga jokes towards me. What are you doing with your life? Oh, it's all about to get very exciting. So yeah, I went to go and read up a bit about Wes Streeting. Quite a lot of is written about him on Wikipedia, almost as if he was going to be a prime minister one day. Wesley Paul William Streeting, very prime ministerial name, born 21st of January 1983. Would that make him a Capricorn, or is he moving into Aquarius? He's on the well, people like to say he's on the cusp, but I think that still makes him Capricorn, but very late degree Capricorn. So that energy of Aquarius is working with him. So he will be able to shake things up, but he's still, because of the Capricorn sun, still very institutional. Capricorn rules government. So it still makes sense that he would fit into that whole dynamic, but he's not Aries. He's not, he's not war-minded in the way that others might be. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. He is a British politician who has served as Secretary of State for Health and Social Care since 2024, a member of the Labour Party. He has been Member of Parliament for Ilford North since 2015. Brought up in Stepney, London, Streeting attended Westminster City School. He read history at the University of Cambridge, so he's one of them, and was president of the Cambridge Students' Union from 2004 to 2005. He was president of the National Union of Students 2008 to 2010. Come on, when you're looking at this trajectory, he's leader of most groups that he enters into. He will not rest until he's leader of the Labour Party. Streeting also worked for Progress, a Labour Party-related organisation, for a year before working in the public sector. In 2010, he was elected to Redbridge London Borough Council for Labour and became deputy leader of the council in May 2014. Streeting was elected to the House of Commons as MP for Ilford North in the 2015 general election and resigned as the council's deputy leader before standing down as a councillor in 2018. He was returned to Parliament at both the 2017 and 2019 general elections. Following Keir Starmer's election as leader of the Labour Party in the 2020 leadership election, Streeting joined the front bench as Shadow Exchequer Secretary to the Treasury in April 2020. He became Shadow Minister for Schools in October 2020 after the resignation of Margaret Greenwood, before joining the Shadow Cabinet as Shadow Secretary of State for Child Poverty. In the May 2021 Shadow Cabinet reshuffle, in the Streeting became following a promotion by Starmer, Shadow Secretary of State for Health and Social Care, a position he remained in until July 2024, following Labour's victory at the 2024 general election. Streeting was appointed Secretary of State for Health and Social Care in the Starmer ministry. There's quite a lot written about him. I don't know how I feel about him. Let's go. At the snap 2017 general election, Streeting was re-elected as MP for Ilford North with an increased vote share of 57.8% and an increased majority of 9,639. Streeting is vice chair of the all-party parliamentary group against anti-Semitism, a co-chair of the all-party parliamentary group on British Jews, and a supporter of Labour Friends of Israel. That's the one I was looking for. The anti-Semitism stuff, yes, we do not stand for anti-Semitism, but I was looking for that Labour Friends of Israel. Interesting though, he's also co-chair of the all-party parliamentary group on British Muslims and a supporter of Labour Friends of Palestine and the Middle East. Girl! In September 2018, he held the last in a series of London-wide consultations to create the working definition of Islamophobia. In July 2018, Streeting called for a targeted economic sanction against Israeli settlements in the West Bank in response to the Israeli government grossly infringing on the human rights of Palestinians. In July 2019, Streeting was reported in the media as using abusive language towards a non-Jewish anti-Semitism campaigner. Shortly before the 2019 general election, Streeting told a Labour First meeting that the party faced electoral oblivion in any snap poll due to the leadership's poor handling of Brexit and allegations of anti-Semitism. At the election, Streeting was again re-elected with a decreased vote share of 50.5%. Oh, you made it by the skin of your teeth. And a decreased majority of 5,198. Following Labour's defeat in the general election, Streeting nominated Jess Phillips and Rosina Aline Khan in the 2020 Labour Party leadership and deputy leaders elections. And after Aline Khan did not win, subsequently endorsed Ian Murray for the deputy leadership. So he hasn't been feeling Keir Starmer for a minute, but Keir still gave him a role that he wouldn't give to other black women. Interesting. I mean, oh wait, hold on. At the 2024 general election, Streeting retained his Ilford North constituency by a margin of only 528 votes, honey, following a challenge by independent British Palestinian candidate Liane Mohammed, who ran in protest against Labour's stance on the Gaza war and the Gaza humanitarian crisis. While she was not elected, Streeting's unexpectedly narrow margin of victory provoked media and political attention, especially in the context of the simultaneous victory of several independent candidates against Labour running on platforms critical of the party's response to the conflict. Yeah, I'm not sure. On September 9th, 2025, Streeting defended then UK ambassador to the US, Peter Mandelson, stating that he should not be judged as guilty by association for his links to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The defense came after US committee documents were released within which he called the offender his best pal. In an interview on Sky News, Streeting said that Mandelson deeply regrets ever having been introduced to Epstein. He argued against dismissing someone based purely on their past connection, stating, "I don't think we should regard everyone as guilty by association." Streeting also highlighted the importance of justice for Epstein's victims, stating they should receive a platform to tell their stories. In November 2025, Streeting condemned strikes by resident doctors in England as morally reprehensible and stated that the strikes would threaten the future of the NHS. Oh, I don't like him. I'm so sorry. I was trying to find another way to say it. I don't like him. I don't like him. He gives flip-flopper energy. I don't like him. I think he's very strategic, being on the board of everything, because that's what's going to guarantee him success. But I think because I don't like him, he's possibly going to be successful with this bid for party leadership if Angela Rayner doesn't go against him. So he would need to absorb her, neutralize her, so she doesn't become a threat. But I am so sorry. I don't like him. Zach Polanski, please. Oh, yeah, no. What? We shouldn't judge Mandelson for his connections to Epstein. Oh, baby, fuck off. Fuck off. Wow. So, yeah, anyway, there's that. But when we look at the rest of the front pages, they're showing us lots of pictures of Kate Middleton attending some Christmas carol or something at Westminster Abbey, and lots of stars were there. But yeah, what's this? Christmas jumpers could upset customers, HSBC tells staff. Oh, piss off. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough, but at least we're not Scotland. England drew a tough 2026 World Cup group last night, including old foes Croatia and Ghana. Panama was the third side paired with Harry Kane's Three Lions, with boss Thomas Tuchel calling it, is it Tuchel or Tuchel? I don't know. A difficult group, difficult opener, but unlucky Scotland drew Brazil and Morocco plus Haiti in next summer's North America Spectacular. Ooh. And that was The Sun, that we don't give a fuck about. The Times say Labour let women down. Former head of equality watchdog attacks government record on single-sex spaces and grooming. Labour has abandoned women over issues such as trans rights and grooming gangs and can no longer call itself the party of equality and feminism, the former head of the human rights watchdog has said. Baroness Faulkner I was going to say Margarine, but it's Margravine, whose term as the head of Equality and Human Rights Commission ended last week, told the Times that Labour had lost touch with its fundamental values. She said the government's failure to publish statutory guidance after a Supreme Court ruling on single-sex spaces was because ministers were terrified of their MPs who wanted trans self-identification across all of society. Faulkner, 70, also criticised the government over grooming gangs, accusing it of failing to stand up for women and girls. The government has committed itself to a national inquiry on grooming gangs, but it has been thrown into chaos by high-profile resignations. She added, what really depresses me about the current state of the Labour Party is that they seem to have completely abandoned women's rights. The traditional party of rights in my 40 years in this country was the Labour Party, the party of feminism. I was mentored by a former very senior Labour woman, Shirley Williams. I was aware of women like Harriet Harman, Margaret Jay, and Hilary Armstrong, Labour women who were committed to feminism. Funny that she doesn't mention one of the longest serving female MPs, Diane Abbott. She's just like, I'm just going to talk about white women because white women is feminism. Whatever you gorillas are doing, that's not feminism. And I think they've lost it. This generation of Labour MPs have lost it. She said that women and transgender people had been left in a grey zone by the government's failure to publish guidance from the human rights watchdog on how public bodies, businesses and employers should interpret the ruling by the Supreme Court. The court ruled in April that under the Equality Act 2010, the terms women and sex refer to biological sex and blah, blah, blah. I feel like she's being weird. And don't you notice that they're really building a case? Like they all want, and this is the time so we can say that it's right wing, right? They all want Starmer gone. The girlies aren't feeling him anymore. And it's funny that she's talking about, let's look into, where is the inquiry into grooming gangs? If we are going to look into grooming gangs, we must look into Andrew Mountbatten, aka the former prince. He's also included because they like to throw out grooming gangs as if we're just talking about South Asian people. What about the overwhelming demographic of white men who run these grooming gangs across the UK, heck, across the world? The Mirror shows Kate's Christmas lights, that they attended Westminster Abbey. They also say England's World Cup 2026, 1L of a draw because it's Group L. So that was good. They're really, bantering us with this. England will take on Croatia, Panama and Ghana in Group L of next year's World Cup. They will fancy their chances with Three Lions. 60 years of hurt could finally end next year. Wouldn't hold my breath. Would not hold my breath. At the draw in Washington, D.C., FIFA chief Gianni Infantino gave Donald Trump a peace award. This game is going to be so rigged, like the election that put Trump in power. It's going to be unbelievable. Let's get ready to see crazy things. I talked about Netflix's deal. Daily Mail says here, postcode lottery in diagnosis and care, no drugs on the NHS, care home fees, crippling families, lack of research funds. Dementia kills 1 in 9. It's time to end cruel injustices. Dementia patients face a postcode lottery of care, with the NHS failing to hit diagnosis targets in more than half of the country, damning figures reveal. The Daily Mail today launches a drive to defeat dementia after shocking statistics showed the disease is still the UK's biggest killer, accounting for 1 in 9 deaths and claiming 76,000 lives each year. This newspaper's Defeating Dementia campaign, in association with the Alzheimer's Society, aims to raise awareness of the disease, increase early diagnosis, boost research and improve care. Dementia patients suffer a cruel injustice as they often face higher care bills and there are no drugs available on the NHS. And they put right at the top here, win £2,026 every month in 2026. Let's see about that. Really pushing Charlotte and Kate, every paper pushing this image of them. And I don't even like Kate's coat like that. Charlotte's so pretty. Anyway, The Guardian, books of the year. Nicola Coughlan. Is that Coughlan? Coughlan? Coughlan, isn't it? Coughlan. Isn't that Coughlin? Anyway, I can't ignore my conscience. I like Nicola because I think she stands for things. She's a babe. Ex-Dulwich pupil, Farage told me that's the way back to Africa. A former Dulwich College pupil who claims a teenage Nigel Farage told him that's the way back to Africa has said he felt compelled to speak out by the Reform UK leader's attempt at denying or dismissing the hurt of his alleged targets. Yinka Bankole, who claims that he had started at the school when a 17-year-old Farage selected him for abuse, said he had decided to tell his story in full after watching the Reform leader's press conference on Thursday. Farage told reporters that he had never been racist or anti-Semitic with malice. Instead, he launched a tirade at the BBC and ITV for questioning him about a Guardian investigation into allegations of past anti-Semitism and racism. Citing television shows such as Are You Being Served and It Ain't Half Hot Mum, Farage accused the BBC of double standards and hypocrisy. I agree, suggesting he would boycott it. He also claimed ITV had a case to answer for airing appearances by comedian Bernard Manning in the 1970s. Manning has been accused of telling racist, homophobic and misogynistic jokes. Bankole, whose parents, a nurse and an osteopath, came to Britain from Nigeria in the 1950s and said he had found it the most amazingly disingenuous example of the phrase, let he without sin cast the first stone. Adding, it was also the final straw. He said, I went to the school for a year between 1980 and 1981. Starting a mere 9 years of age, I was in the most junior class at the time in a college that was so large. And he talks about it consisted of different types of people, and Nigel Farage chose to pick on him. So there's that, and that was in The Guardian. Robbie, could it be magic? Robbie kicks off World Cup draw as Trump wins FIFA Peace Prize. The world's gone mad is all I can say about that. iWeekend says, wear face mask if you feel ill, public told, as hospitals and schools face record flu surge. People with flu symptoms should consider wearing a face mask in public, infectious disease experts say, because record hospital cases are placing greater strain on the NHS. If you have flu-like symptoms, limit contact with others, especially those at a higher risk. Wash your hands regularly, keep indoor spaces well ventilated, and if you need to go out while unwell, consider wearing a face mask, says UK Health Security Agency expert. Nasty mutation causes unprecedented early infection wave in wards and care homes. So basically it's COVID. They don't want to call it that because they don't want to alarm people. School absences grow as NHS is urged to tackle jab fatigue among health workers. Those are the main bits. And that's everything. That's everything. Got through it all. What will I say about Nigel Farage and his comments? I saw snippets of that interview and him saying, I might have said it, but I didn't say it with malice. What are you talking about? And I believe that you did say it with malice because you're a prick. But imagine saying, so you could say something along the lines of, I think X group of people should be killed. But I'm just saying that I didn't say it with malice. I don't hate them. I just think that they should be killed. Can you hear how crazy that sounds? But that's that. We've got another episode in there, back from Thailand. I'm sure the girlies are loving it. Bath salts soon come to the people who have ordered. And yeah, we're getting ever closer to Christmas. And I'm still going to be here one way or another, I hope. But thank you for joining me once again for another week of going through all of the bits. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope to catch you next week. I have been Kelechi Okafor, the baby girl, aka Mother of London, and this has been Front Page Fuckery, turning bad news into good, forget that, great conversation. Looking forward to reading your comments, and yeah, I'll catch you on the other side of the news. Bless.
Oh, have you heard the news? It's probably been twisted to keep the general population conflicted. Better lick your finger and turn the page. Dissect the lines that made you to rage. Get out of your Monday drudgery. Turn up the volume on front page fuckery.